It's time for Real Talk with Brian and Dan, the weekly talk radio show dedicated to discussing important real estate topics, plus insight into the local community. With a combined experience of over 50 years as local real estate brokers from the Eastside real estate team at Keller Williams Realty Bellevue. Here's your hosts, Brian Levitt and Dan Edwards.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 KKNW. It's Wednesday, June 12th, 2019. Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to listen to past episodes, you can find us anywhere podcasts are found. Today, we have a great show lined up for you. We have two really fantastic guests, Rachel Garcia with Minuteman Press and Liz Silke of J. Hilburn's Men's Custom Clothing. So, it should be pretty great, but of course, as we start this segment all time, let's get started with some real talk. So, Brian, I found myself at an open house this weekend, and as I was doing that, I was contemplating the value of the home that we were in, because that's our job, is we got to constantly be thinking about, is it priced right? Where's the buyer going to come from? And looking at my numbers, I noticed something interesting that I wanted to share with the listeners today.
Sure.
So last year, when we did our comps for this house, we had a home come on the market at $800,000, and then it was sold in about a week for $835,000. So we were using that comp and a couple of others, right, to determine our fair market value this year.
Right.
We came onto the market this year at $825,000. After a price reduction, we got down to $800,000. We ended up getting in contract. But here's where the actual true gold and buyers need to know about this right now is interest rates are about 0.75% lower than they were this time last year. So I thought I'd calculate the math. So in addition to a savings of about $35,000, this buyer that is in contract with our client, their interest rate is 4%. So what does that look like from principal and interest and a monthly savings? As I calculated this with principal and interest, last year's payment on this same house at $835,000 with 20% down would have been about $3,400. This year at 4%, providing 20% down, their monthly payment would be $2,950. So that's almost a $500 a month savings by just jumping into this market this time.
That's great.
It's pretty great. Like a lot of buyers are finding that.
Yeah. So are you saying prices are softening some?
Yeah, I would say across the board, you got to be more compelling to sell. Okay. So it's just an adjustment from where we were. Mm-hmm. But in a general sense, that individual that bought the home for $650,000 is still making money when he sells.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes when I see this, I hear the conversation of, prices are dropping. Somebody asked me about an article in the paper about that, and I haven't seen that. I think that we're seeing some market exuberance where some sellers may be coming on higher than the actual comps.
Gotcha.
But I'm not really seeing a drop, but I am seeing the big dynamic of the reduced interest rates increasing buying power.
So it's not necessarily falling prices as overconfidence by sellers when they set their price.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to be thinking about when you look at the comps, it may be the conversations we're having is, it's not 7 days to sell a home. It may be 30, it may be more. And that at that 20 to 30 day mark, you have to be thinking price improvement in order to keep the buyers interested. Okay. I thought it'd be fun too.
Talk about reality show.
Yeah, right.
Real estate reality, which I think I mentioned to you. One of my friends produces a reality TV show, and her line is, there's nothing real about reality
TV show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
we're going to dispel some myths. What's the first one?
Let's see. Buyers look at 3 homes to decide which one they want to buy.
Yeah,
Dan,
that's
the truth here.
The truth is there may be buyers who fall in love with the first home they see. I've had that happen. Have you had that happen?
Yeah, that's actually a big problem.
Yeah, right. Then you're like, wait, do I keep looking?
Yeah.
But according to the National Association of Realtors, an average home buyer will look at about 10 to 12 homes before making a purchase.
Yeah.
Myth number 2, the houses buyers are touring are still for sale.
As I mentioned, the way they produce these shows is it's all determined in advance. They've purchased that home already, and so they're reproducing the results that they found through the process.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, exactly how that goes down and how they're approached by it. So, what's the third myth?
Let's see. Number 3, the buyers haven't made a purchase decision yet. I think we just
Yeah.
That's
So
on the
yeah.
line.
So there's no way to show the entire buying process in a 30-minute show. TV producers choose the buyers who are further along in the process and have already chosen to buy a home. Now, I know I can speak for Brian and I. If you'd like, we could go ahead and catalog your buyer, experience. So just let us know. We'll catalog it, and we can maybe do that in like a short little series on our YouTube channel. That'd be kind of fun, right? All right.
Little side note here is one of the things I always coach my sellers on is the importance of preparing the home, the staging, etc. The home sells in the first 30 seconds. When the buyer walks in and it's the right home, I usually feel that right away. I mean, I'm reading that in them.
Yep.
Then the rest of the process is confirming what they're feeling about the house.
Yeah. It's a process of elimination.
It's a process, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. Let's see. Myth number 4. If you list your home for sale, it will always sell at the open house.
There's a lot of myths surrounding open houses, and one of the big ones is that it's necessary to have opens to sell a home. It's one piece of the puzzle. The fact is open houses are better for real estate brokers than for sellers. We meet a lot of buyers. I think the biggest benefit for the seller is one that most people never think of, that it makes it really easy for brokers to send their buyers to the opens. Reputation is everything in this business, and the other realtors in our market know that Dan and I won't poach their buyers.
Yeah.
If they send a buyer to our open, we're going to respect that relationship.
Yeah, and I think what's cool is we have an opportunity to really relate from the seller's point of view and maybe sell the home a bit.
Right.
And I can see that there are some, not with our team, that are just kind of sit down and they let people walk through the open house. My goal is to convey the passion that the seller has for the home to everybody walking in the door.
Sell the sizzle.
Sell it.
Yeah.
You got to sell
One of
it.
the things I hate is when I walk into somebody's open and they're sitting there reading a book, drinking coffee, and just ignore me.
Or having a popsicle.
Yeah. When I hold an open, I engage in conversation and working on determining that buyer's motivation. Honestly, often we get the neighbors, so it's an opportunity to meet new sellers for us.
Yeah. So do myth number 5.
Myth number 5. Homeowners decide to sell their homes after a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, it takes time to make that decision. The motivation behind selling a home, whether it be one you've owned for 2 years or for 30, it usually, I had a conversation with a client today. We're going to go in a couple of weeks. Him and I started talking 4 months ago. So no, they're not deciding in a 5-minute conversation.
Right.
So
and I was curious, what would you say your typical pipeline lead time is on a seller?
we're going to start to know that information with the technology we have at Keller Williams. But I would say for a seller pipeline, it's probably 4 months.
I'd say 4 to 6. And I've had them where I've been in conversation for years.
Yeah.
And just finally getting to the point of saying, okay, let's pull the trigger.
Yeah.
But I've never had one just after a meeting say, oh yeah, let's go ahead and sell.
Yeah.
This doesn't work that way.
Well, cool. Great conversation, Brian. We're at the end of the segment. So after the break, we're going to be calling Mr. Michael Burdick for our mortgage moment. So
cool.
Join us after the break.
Did you know when you pay rent, you're actually paying someone else's mortgage? Are you tired of missing out on owning your own home? Fact: homeowners on average have 40 times the financial net worth of renters. The Eastside Real Estate Team has been helping many first-time homebuyers find and buy their first home. They specialize in customer service and put you first. They listen first to what you're looking for, and then they take the time to make sure their clients understand every aspect of the home buying process. If owning a home has been your dream, the Eastside Real Estate Team can help you. For a free, no-hassle consultation, call 425-200-4093 or find them online at the eastsiderealestateteam.com, a subsidiary of Keller Williams Realty in Bellevue.
Find out the latest about your favorite shows on Alternative Talk 1150. Check out 1150kknw.com.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan. It's now time for our mortgage moment, brought to us by Michael Burdick with Loan Depot. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah,
Hey.
you bet. It's a beautiful sunny day out there. I hope you're having fun.
I'm in the office, but I can see the sun from the office. It
Okay.
looks beautiful
Nice.
out there.
Fair enough.
So, Michael, what's new? What's the latest in the mortgage world?
Well, rates are still holding strong. They've ticked up a little bit, but, we've seen that kind of happen over the last month. They come up and they come back down. So we're still holding at near long-term lows. So it's a great time to refinance. I'm spending a lot of time just following up with my past clients and doing mortgage checkups for them.
Awesome. So this whole application process, we've been talking about myths on the show today. So how difficult and time consuming is the application process?
Well, the funny thing is that the 1003 of the Uniform Residential Loan Application is a number of boxes that is the same for every lender. So we're all kind of in competition on making that process to get that information as easy as we can. So for some of my clients, that making that as easy as for them is coming into my office and doing it face-to-face, and others want to do it over the phone. But something that we've really emphasized a lot of work at our company, and when I say we, I mean the tech software engineers.
Oh, so you're not writing code by we?
Not me, no. But they've spent a lot of time on our online application and just making that state-of-the-art, best in the industry. So it's something people can do on their laptop. They can do it.
Don't you have a success
smartphone.
story to share with us about that?
I do. So, this is something that happened 2 weeks ago where Friday afternoon, evening, I have some clients that are now clients. They were headed to a Mariner game on the bus. Their agent calls me in a frantic, wanting to get an offer submitted, but they can't get a hold of their lender who was in Yakima.
Probably already
actually.
at the game, maybe. Oh, no.
Yeah, so they're the clients are on the bus, and they call me and they say, hey, can you get pre-approved? And I said, well, if they do the application, absolutely. But if they're headed to a Mariner game, it just depends on if they want to take the time to do it. Well, they get on their smartphone, they go to my link, they fill it out. In a matter of 10 minutes, they complete it. They call me, we structure it. We're able to digitally verify their assets and income. So it's really a documented pre-approval at that point. We go ahead and get them a pre-approval. They submit the offer, and the next morning we're under contract.
Wow. So I had a question. Using their phone or any other electronic media for that matter, how do you secure financial information? How do you make sure it's not compromised?
Well, and a lot of older clients, and not just older, but some young, are concerned about that because, there's horror stories about things getting hacked and so on. But then, whether they know it or not, their information is out there, and it's out there on their banking institutions. It's all within very secure systems. So, when they log into their application, it would be similar to them logging into their bank account online.
Yeah.
So it's very secure and something that our company takes very seriously.
That's great. Now, I know that you care a lot about the organization and know that there's a certain level of expertise that you have as a part of Loan Depot. You got just under 90 seconds. What sets Loan Depot apart from the competition?
Go.
Go. All right. Has the timer started? No.
Yes, it has.
Well, I've been doing this for a long time, and I think that, customer service and rate, cost, those need to be good. But, whether you're looking at any bank or credit union, we're all going to be within about an eighth in rate, depending on the product. So I do truly believe that the differentiator is process and just making sure that, the company that you're working for is making the process as easy for your clients, for the realtors involved, for everyone involved, just to make sure that we're not doing any extra work on our side or the client side. So I think the strategy and the emphasis that Loan Depot is putting into that is making us one of the leaders in the industry, for sure.
Michael, how do our listeners reach you?
You keep asking me that. I need to get
Google.
some clever 1-800. Yeah, I think.
Well, it's not for me. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's
know,
for the
absolutely.
listeners.
1-800 Michael. That probably won't get to me, but if you Google Michael Burdick, Loan Depot, I'm out of Bellevue. I've been local here in the Puget Sound area for a decade, and you'll find me. I'll show up online, but my phone number is 206-661-2289, and give me a call. Shoot me an email. I'd love to help.
Yeah. All right, Michael. Thank you again for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
guys.
Michael.
We'll talk to you later. All right. After the break, we will be chatting with Liz Silke. She's a representative with Jay Hilburn. So come on back after the break.